Okay.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. We just had a hearing on a subcommittee that I'm the ranking Democrat. It's the Commerce, Manufacturing, and Trade Subcommittee, and the topic today was tourism, which is very important to, well, certainly to the United States, but also very important to Chicago, and particularly we're talking about the North Shore. I'm here with Gina Speckman today, and she is the director of the North Shore Convention and Tourism Bureau, attracting businesses and meetings and tourists to our area. So we wanted to talk about that. What is the attraction, and how do we get more people to come, and what can government do to help make that happen?
Great. Well, first we have Northwestern University in Evanston, and that's a major destination driver, not just for Evanston, but the entire North Shore. We also have the Chicago Botanic Garden, which a lot of people think is in Chicago, but it's not. It's on the North Shore.
It's so spectacular right now, too, with all the flowers, and it was fabulous.
It's beautiful, and not only do they have 26 gardens and beautiful ongoing vistas for people to see, but they also have ongoing programming. They have amazing things that visitors love. They have a chef series every week. A famous chef from Chicago comes and uses vegetables grown in the garden, and in an amphitheater shows people how to use those things in cooking. They have kite festival. They have festivals throughout even the winter time. They have a Wonderland Express, which transposes the whole garden.
It's fantastic.
Thousands of lights and mini railroad that goes through famous Chicago attractions. So they have and really promote themselves to the tourists. They're the second most visited public garden in the United States. And they have,
really?
Yes.
Awesome.
And in April they have an antique and garden fair, and that draws people from around the world to come to hear about people that are authorities in decorating, planned home decor, and it's become a very well-known event annually, but there's always something going on. They have a major Mother's Day brunch coming up this Sunday, so pretty much year-round they have great programming that we promote to people throughout the Midwest.
You mentioned restaurants. First of all, I am a huge Chicago booster. In the hearing today, I said the greatest city in the world, which I honestly think it is. And wish more people wouldn't just go from the coast, east and west, but come to the Midwest, partly because our people are so real and so great. But there's also the diversity. You can come to the North Shore and experience almost every culture, and then the restaurant that goes with it. Is that a draw?
Yes, it's a major draw. I mean, Evanston and Skokie have become real centers for new restaurants, and culinary tourism is a really hot theme in our industry. But I think in downtown Evanston, in a 3-block radius, we have 80 different cuisines. And so the diversity of the cuisines basically shows that we are not just a outlying suburban town with a lot of chain restaurants, and visitors respond to that. They want unique options. They want to go to some new restaurants that are cool. One of the new restaurants in Evanston Found was in the New York Times this past Sunday. And I had people calling me from Connecticut and New York saying, "Hey, have you gone there yet? I see one of your restaurants is in the New York Times."
Where is it?
It's right next to Caffeine, across from the Whole Foods on Chicago Avenue, and between Church and Davis.
Okay, good. We'll have to try that.
Yeah.
I had some relatives in, and we drove to the Bahai Temple. Is that also a draw for international visitors?
Yes, it's a draw. It's a draw for people that are followers of the Bahai faith or just have an interest in it. But really, it's an architectural draw. It took 50 years to build. It is very imposing in its architecture. It's on the lake. It's in the middle of a neighborhood, and when you come upon it, it is really, really striking. It is the only one in the United States, and people can come to it and do come to it. As a matter of fact, we're lucky that the Chicago CTA train line terminates in Wilmette, and you can walk 2 blocks to go to the Bahai House of Worship. So We get visitors coming up from downtown that just take day visits, and people from all over. They are redoing their visitor center to expand their ability to take buses and visitors. They'll be opening next spring. So they are very welcoming to visitors, and it's an amazing place to see.
The other thing I'm not sure people understand about Chicago and Chicago area, the performing arts. We have so many theaters. We have big and small. You can sit right up close, or you can be in larger venues. What about that as a draw?
Yeah, we use the performing arts year-round, but particularly in the wintertime when some of our other attractions aren't available to us. Performing arts is really important to the North Shore, and what we do is we really try to promote the fact that we don't just have high school productions, which are great, but that we have professional equity theater on the North Shore, and what we do is we have a brand called North Shore Live. So we take all the offerings that we have throughout the North Shore and brand them under this one umbrella and do a lot of advertising and packaging with hotels and restaurants promoting our really great theater and performing arts.
And the other thing that visitors, first-time visitors to Chicago and the Chicago area say, I have no idea how beautiful it is. The lakefront itself has to be a draw.
Well, I was just talking to somebody in the hearing about that they, didn't realize it was so pretty, and they were comparing it to some other Midwest cities. And what really sets Chicago apart is they did not allow building on the lakeshore. And so in some cities they might have a little piece of native lakeshore, but in Chicago there's no water plants, and there's no refineries and other things that you see in other towns.
This is the vision of Daniel Burnham,
yes,
that there would be public space along the entire lakefront.
Yes, and a lot of people come to Chicago and the North Shore because they want to see Daniel Burnham's work. And he lived in Evanston, and his homes and some of the homes he built are in Evanston. So there's tours that have become really popular that start at the Charles Gates Dawes House that tour the neighborhood, and you can see his work.
How can government be helpful? I understand there's a Brand USA, a government program that helps promote internationally various tourism options.
Yes, surprisingly, the United States never had a federal marketing agency for tourism. And a lot of times on TV you see Turkey and all these other countries, Portugal, they have national tourism organizations, and the United States didn't until 2010. And they really are still ramping up, but they now have an aggressive program that markets the United States. They have about a $200 million budget, and again, this is brand new, but we're getting there. And now the destinations, even ours, will be able to take advantage of marketing programs that are now affordable to us, that will allow us to have collateral, video, online presence in different languages, and to market to the key countries that we know come to the Midwest and the Chicago area.
Well, we certainly want to encourage that. I am happy that I was able to co-sponsor legislation that created this Brand USA, and we certainly don't want Chicago to be a secret to international visitors, and people from around the country too should come to Chicago. People are friendly, the weather is great, well, and so come to Chicago, and certainly come to the North Shore.
Yes, and if you need any help, you can always find information at our website. Visit chicagonorthshore.com.
Great. Thanks, Gina.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.